What is up? My name is Garrett at Yogurt on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. This time we are talking about Wifisfuneral. Leave Me the Fuck Alone EP, short little mixtape, nothing too long on this thing. It's only 10 minutes in length, which is kind of what allowed me to listen to this thing kind of on repeat all day and give you guys a pretty good idea of what's going on this thing, as well as just give you my impressions, my thoughts, usual stuff. Thank you for all the support on these album reviews as well. Always, I am so appreciative of that. I probably don't say it enough, but thank you for all the new subscribers. Welcome, and all the people in the comment section. What the fuck is up? Let's just jump into the track list real quick, just to kind of break it down, because this thing is really short. But one thing that I will say about Wifisfuneral is that he's probably my favorite coming out of that early Florida SoundCloud rap scene, just with those like new wave people. He was the one who always had the best flow to me, even with X and Ski Mask craziness. I still just found like Wifisfuneral being the most technical of them all, kind of reminding me of like old boom bap type music, but being over these like Ronnie J beats, or you hear a lot of those old school samples kind of on this thing underlaid throughout the whole entirety. And I think it just comes together really well. His voice, his vocals, his flow, just across any beat. He can really just be the most versatile guy from Florida, in my opinion. Just damn bout. I know X, rest in peace, was probably one of the most versatile artists, period. But just on a rapping standpoint, there is something very like expandable and just I don't know, just very full of high quality. Every time I hear Wifisfuneral on a beat, it's like the way he puts it together as a product across the vocals, mixed with the flow, mixed with all the switch ups and just lyrical content. I feel like there's such a high quality package being displayed in front of us across the board every time. But like I said, getting into this track listing, we have track number 1, Alone, as a face tat, which is pretty cool because he literally has Alone on his face tatted. So I assume that is kind of also what he's winking at. But track number 2 is Pain featuring Beta.files. Track number 3 is Suicide Note. And track number 4 is Ever Seen a Demon, which was the lead single off of this very short EP. But like I said, there's something so beautiful to which how he just displays himself and decides to put out these products. I feel like there's just so much in there just across the board. He actually has a pretty nice discography now. So if you are just now getting into Wifisfuneral and have not heard the Ethernet Volume 1 or The Boy Who Cried Wolf or something, The Wolf, There Really Is a Wolf. No, one of those is a Russ mixtape and one is a Wifisfuneral mixtape, and I feel terrible. I feel terrible for mixing those two up. But yeah, he actually has a pretty good amount of music. You can even go onto this very channel and type in like 1 hour of Wifisfuneral, and it'll actually get you from when he used to go under a different name, which was like Izzy something. And he's been rapping for a while, since like 2015, if I'm not mistaken, and you will find a good amount of cool music, I guarantee that. So again, if you have not heard of Wifisfuneral prior to this is a very small taste tester, but I also believe that this little taste tester is a really high polished version of what he's capable of doing. I think a full length, like, he joked on Twitter saying that this thing was 23 tracks, like the day before the day of it was coming out, and I thought that was a little weak, but I get it. You gotta troll the audience, like, in this day and age. But I think this only proves that having 23 tracks and allowing him the time to like put out a fully girthed project is something that I definitely would want to see from him. This only just makes me want more. I was even talking to some girl. I actually posted this on my story on Instagram, just like the track listing, and I was just like, fuck yeah, it came out. And a girl responded, and she was like, oh man, like it's so good. And I was like, yeah, I just want it to be longer. And she's like, he always just leaves you wanting more. And I was like, that's so cliche, but it's also pretty spot on, I think, with how Wifisfuneral makes me, and I bet a lot of people in his audience, feel after each and every album release. But yeah, this thing is very short, but the content of which he is talking about is as real as it's gonna get. And I think he's really just feeling out the artistry of him becoming a full-fledged, complete, high fidelity, high fucking octaned, high quality, just ready to be the most versatile guy on the market right now. And I think he's just really making solid projects and solid steps towards that level of legitimacy. I know that was a lot of just bullshit, but that's basically what I'm trying to say, is that at this point in people's careers, when you get on the XXL list and you get on the game, and you're putting out a project such as Ethernet Volume 1, which I assume there's still going to be a Volume 2 coming at some point, and then to follow it up with something like this, to see steps that he is making, to see the steps that I am hearing musically, it is not just redundancy, not just for releasing them just because a label says so. There is some real content on each of these releases, and they stand alone, but also kind of have a really high level of like reflective content, where I think even when I'm still listening to Ethernet, that's definitely going to come up in the year-end conversations as far as some of my favorite releases. You can find that poorly sounding audio. I think actually the video is just not synced up. Like there's something wrong with that review, and I didn't catch it. And I if you can bear through that thing, go ahead. But I'm not proud of that review. That's probably like one of the few reviews on this channel that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But that will not happen with this one. But regardless, just to sum up kind of how I felt about it, it was just a really good debut album. There's so many catchy hooks, just so many catchy flows, just the way he's able to just kind of be versatile, but also understand that this is a Wifisfuneral record. He's becoming more solid in that range where it's like you're able to identify him a lot more, kind of not expect certain things, but you're not fully not caught off guard, if that makes sense. Like you're not too comfortable. It's not like you know exactly how, like I know what a Chris Brown song sounds like now, and like not to say that he has as many songs as Chris Brown, he probably may, because he has a fucking fat catalog, like I said earlier in this, but there is just something to each of the records that this man puts out, and I'm a fan almost every single time. So I really think that there's something here to him having a really nice career ahead of him, and I think that people are sleeping on him and not actually acknowledging that the quality of music is not to be weighed down by the fact that he came out in that high ridiculousness of just artists. Like, you know, like everyone likes to profile the 2016 2015 SoundCloud rappers, but I think that this is actually like the most perfect the perfect example of like what they're actually like made of, is that there's more. He's like the antithesis of that shit. It's like, yeah, he has face tats, but he still raps like a legit rapper. He's not mumbling, and even if he does, it still has like probably a better flow than half the people who are talking shit, so it doesn't even matter. Like, this guy is the real deal, and I think that this project, while short, still has a big message to put out there, and I think that it's only going to further his career in a better aspect, and I think it's a good example of what Wifisfuneral is capable of. But I am excited for the day coming eventually that'll just be this long ass Wifisfuneral project, and I want to see the stories that he has to tell. I think he's going to tell them in a great way, and he can do it on a 4-track EP, so why not on a full-fledged huge album. Not, like triple disc fucking Ray Shremmer bullshit, but I don't know. I would like to see 23 tracks from him. That'd be interesting. But my name is Garrett at Yogurt on Twitter. Let me know in the comment section below. What did you think of this album? What is your favorite tracks? I kind of just, honestly, I didn't do a standout tracks because there's 4 of them. But I'm really enjoying Alone as a Face, Tide, and Pain. Those are probably like my favorite 2. But let me know in the comment section below what you think. What are your favorites? Thank you so much for tuning in. You take care of yourself, and that is all, folks.